Hey everybody, welcome to another Q&A Wednesday here on Jessica Smith TV. This week's question comes from Nancy, and she asked, Tabata and HIIT, it seems like they overlap a lot in principle. So what's the difference? Nancy, this is a really great question. Thanks so much for writing it and asking it. So I wanted to talk with you all a little bit today about the difference not only between Tabata and HIIT, but also more regular steady state cardio. There can be a lot of confusion about what type of cardio is best and how often you should do it. So let's talk a little bit about the differences of each. So the first workout style that we're talking about is HIIT, which is short for high intensity interval training. So this refers to a workout that really alternates between the different aerobic systems in your body. You're going to be going through aerobic and then anaerobic intense exercise. So these HIIT training intervals can vary in length as the work to recovery ratio of the intervals depends on your goals and your various fitness levels. So for example, you might start out with a 3-minute active recovery period and then go for a 1-minute maximum effort intensity interval. As you get more fit, you may actually switch the ratio from 3 to 1, where you're working for the 3 minutes and only recovering for 1 minute. And that's going to really change as your fitness level improves, as your goals change, etc. So here on Jessica Smith TV, we may vary those types of HIIT intervals depending on the workout, the length that we're going for. If we're going to go for a longer period of time, we don't want to burn you out. So we may make the recoveries a little bit longer, for example. If we're going to make it a shorter workout, we may have you working for a longer period of time with shorter rests, etc. So you can really mix and match when it comes to HIIT. That's just more of a generic term referring to that high intensity interval training format. Now, some of the pros of this type of training is that it's a more efficient way to burn calories in a shorter amount of time. It also creates a metabolic afterburn effect in your body, which helps you burn calories after you're done with your workout. But it's not the only type of training that you should do all the time, because it really requires your body to tap into its anaerobic energy system, which can require a lot of effort and be very challenging to maintain. And if you do it too often, you are at a risk of overtraining and sort of burning out your body and overstressing your system. So in general, I recommend trying this type of training no more than really 1 to 2 non-consecutive days per week. You want to give yourself time to fully recover in between those sessions. If you're more advanced, you could do more often, maybe even 3 times a week. And when it comes to Tabata, we could really classify Tabata as a type of a HIIT workout, but it has a very specific work to recovery ratio. So I'm just going to read through this. I want to read my notes so I don't leave anything out. But basically, Tabata was named after the Japanese researcher Uzumi Tabata. He was the one that actually created this ratio for Olympic speed skaters in Japan. So this is a specific 4-minute HIIT protocol that alternates 20 seconds of maximum all-out intensity effort with 10 seconds of rest, repeated 8 times in total to give you a 4-minute HIIT workout. So that's really the big difference between Tabata and HIIT, is that Tabata is designed to be 4 minutes long, it's 20 seconds of all-out effort and 10 seconds of rest. So he found that this specific protocol really helped this Olympic speed skating team drastically improve their anaerobic and aerobic fitness levels more than, say, an hour-long endurance session did. Now, it's really important to note here that in the Tabata study, they did not only do Tabata sessions, they also did steady state aerobic exercise in addition to their Tabata training. So some of the pros of this type of training is this is obviously a super efficient way to get your cardio in. It's only 4 minutes, so it's a really effective way to burn a ton of calories in a very, very short period of time. But that being said, that also leads to a lot of the cons of this type of training, which is to perform this type of effort, it's pretty excruciating. I mean, you have to go max balls to the wall, all out effort for those 20 seconds, which can be really, really challenging, not only to do, but to get to that level of intensity. So it's hard to do this type of training. They actually did this on stationary cycling bikes so that they could really control the effort level and intensity and get to their max as soon as possible for those 20 seconds. Now, my recommendations for Tabata is to really just start out with 1 session to see if you even want to continue doing this. Again, it's not for everybody, and it's not something that you have to do. There's no magic to Tabata. There's definitely other ways to train and to get in your HIIT style cardio. So don't feel pressured that you have to do Tabata if it's just not right for your body or your needs. So advanced athletes can try really no more than 1 to 2 sessions per week max, and you want to only do Tabata when you're really, really well rested and you have tons of energy to put into that excess effort that you're going to need for those intervals. And finally, I just want to wrap up by talking about more regular, steady state types of endurance cardio sessions. So you didn't specifically ask me about this, Nancy, but I think it's really important to address this because, as I mentioned, you don't want to just be doing this type of HIIT style training all the time. So this type of aerobic exercise taps into your aerobic system for energy. It doesn't require extreme levels of exertion. So walking, jogging, swimming, any activity you can perform at a more moderate level of exertion that won't leave you out of breath is a really great example of this type of cardio conditioning. So this is a really great way to build your overall fitness level, your aerobic capacity, and your endurance, which is going to give you a great foundation of fitness when it's time to do that high intensity training. You might be able to push yourself a little harder for a longer period of time. It also comes with a lower risk of injury, higher enjoyment factor, and it may even help you eat less and sleep more soundly. Now the cons, in terms of calorie burn, it may not be the most efficient way to burn calories. You'll have to go further, longer to burn up the same amount of calories that you might expend in a shorter HIIT or Tabata session, but that certainly doesn't mean it doesn't have lots of other great benefits. So this type of exercise can be done daily if you like, since it doesn't really overly tax your energy systems. General recommendations include about 150 minutes per week. That's about 20 minutes per day of moderate aerobic exercise. So the bottom line here, Nancy, is don't ditch all of your steady state cardio for HIIT or Tabata training. You really want to balance out the types of cardio that you're doing to improve your fitness level and to stay with that factor of enjoyment. So you want to continue exercising regularly. I hope that cleared that up for you, Nancy. Thanks so much for your great question. And don't forget, guys, if you have a question for me that I can help answer in an upcoming Q&A Wednesday, please be sure to leave it for me in the comments below. And don't forget, if you don't have your shirt yet, I'll put the link below in the video description so you can order your own peanut shirt. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next week for another Q&A Wednesday, and I look forward to a workout with you soon. Take care, everybody.